Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Sober School, where you can always find experience, strength, and hope. My name is Drew, and I'm an alcoholic. We want to welcome you to this platform here today, regardless of what your addiction may be. You are welcome here. We support multiple pathways to recovery, not just one, but all pathways. And whichever pathway it is that you choose, we're here to help, and we definitely want to make sure that it works for you. If you're watching us through the Recovery Classroom Facebook group page, we encourage you to share your own experience, strength, and hope, and your own words of wisdom. You never know who needs to hear what it is you might have to say, and it could just change someone's life, including your own. Do encourage you to follow those Facebook posting guidelines. When folks come here seeking experience, strength, and hope, we want to make sure that they find it rather than someone trying to scam them out of money or start a fight or lead them on to make them think they have a date for this weekend. Disclaimer, this is not a dating site. That's another site somewhere, but not here. So if you're watching this through another recovery group out there on Facebook, we encourage you to swing by and check out the Recovery Classroom Facebook group page. We try to do this every day. If not, if not possible, then every other day, every couple of days. But we always try to share some experience, strength, and hope. Again, we focus on progress, not perfection. I want to talk today about catching fire. Not my house catching fire, not my car, thank God, but me and my recovery. And I've said this 1,000 times, when I was early into the rooms, came in July 6th was my first day of sobriety, 2021. It's my first day of sobriety. I came in and I spent probably the first 25, maybe between 25 and 30 days, just kind of getting sober. And because I didn't really understand recovery at the time, but I didn't quite yet have that fire lit for my recovery. Now keep in mind, it was 25, 30 days into my sobriety. Sobriety is totally different from recovery. And let me explain. There were many times, even whenever I was drinking, even when I was in the madness, where I could sober up. I've said this 1,000 times. Stopping wasn't my problem. It was staying stopped. That was my problem, right? So I even when I was drinking, at my heaviest, when I was drinking, I could still sober up. Because I had an important event I had to go attend. I had some important function I had to go take care of. I had a meeting I had to go make out of that I couldn't miss. So I would have to sober up. See, getting sober and recovering are two totally different things. Two totally different things. In order to recover, sure, you have to get the sober part right. All right. And fortunately for me, that first 25, 30 days, I was getting sober, but I hadn't quite yet caught fire yet. And I always say, I've shared the story many times. One of these days, I'm going to have to do my lead on here, I think, maybe. I don't know. But I've shared the story many times. How I walked into a room is maybe day 27, 28, somewhere in that ballpark. I walked into a room by accident. It was on a Monday night. I was supposed to be going to one meeting, and there was no way in hell I was getting to that meeting because of traffic. So I said, look, here's a meeting 2 blocks from where I happen to be at. And I walked in that room and completely by accident, wasn't supposed to be there, or at least I thought I wasn't. God had different plans for me that day. And I walked in that room and man, that's when I caught the fire. Actually, that's when I saw the fire. Let me say it like that. That's when I saw the fire. I saw people in this room who, in particular, my sponsor, the guy who became my sponsor, he was excited. Now, mind you, he's a recovering drug addict. I didn't know at the time, but he was planning on going back to prison. Yeah, he was planning on going back to prison. And yet he is in there excited about his recovery. Not about his sobriety, but about his recovery. And I'm listening to this guy talk and I'm going, oh my God. Either this guy's really high right now, or he's legit serious. And thank God, he was legit serious. And I even followed him around for the next several weeks before I finally approached him and asked him to be my sponsor. But following him around, hearing this guy speak in these meetings, talking to him one-on-one, just, our own personal interactions, this guy had fire. This guy had a passion for life that I didn't even know existed. Matter of fact, I'll take it a step farther. This guy had a passion for recovery that I didn't even think was possible. How could you be that fucking excited about recovering? It made no sense to me. And because it made no sense to me, my curiosity was piqued. There was intrigue there. I wanted to figure out, was this guy on crack or was this guy being legit? And the only way for me to do that, to figure that out, was to follow him and go where he went, go where all the other people went. I'm telling you, it wasn't just him. There were many people in that room whom still to this day I talk to on a regular basis because they were so fucking influential in my recovery. I couldn't be more grateful that they were in that room that day. There has been so many people throughout my recovery journey that have helped me along the way. And again, to this day, I thank them from the bottom of my heart. But in that room that day, there were many people in there who had that fire that I didn't know was possible for recovery. Because again, I didn't know, I wasn't able to separate sobriety and recovery. Two different things. I didn't know that then. I thought sobriety and recovery were the same thing, right? I just happened to be sober 25, 27, 29 days. I didn't know about the recovery thing yet. And so I saw that fire and I wanted it. These people who had, that I had interacted with early on, I couldn't see it because I still had the fog in my head, right? The first 3-4 weeks I was in meetings, I couldn't see that fire that they had because I still had that fog in my head. Again, it takes us, for alcoholics anyway, it could take us around 30 some days plus, depending on how much you drink, plus for the alcohol to finally be completely eradicated from our systems. And I know for me, it was probably about a full 30, maybe even a 45 days before my head really felt like it was coming out of the clouds. You may be exactly where I was at. You may have just come out of it. You may just be getting into it, where you're trying to quit. You're focused on your sobriety, and that's great. That's great. But we need to light that fire for your recovery too. See, you can't recover without getting sober first. I thought they were kind of one and the same, but I learned a very important lesson throughout my recovery journey. There's getting sober, and then there's recovery. See, again, there were many times when I was still drinking, I could get sober. I just couldn't stay sober for very long, all right? And coming in the rooms and catching that fire, catching that lightning in a bottle, as my best friend always calls it, catching that lightning in a bottle. Man, that lit me up. Just the other night, I'm sitting at the Waffle House with 3 ladies, and dude, we're all feeding off of each other's energy. We're all feeding off of each other's fire, right? That's the way this program works. That's exactly what happened to me. I fed off of my sponsor's energy, his passion, his excitement for the program, for recovery in general. And next thing you know, before too long, I'm the one out here, carrying the torch, running 20 miles a day, telling anybody and everybody I can about recovery, because to me, I believe there may be people out there who are suffering in silence just like I did for many years. So I've said this 1,000 times. I don't care what platform I'm using, if it's a professional wrestling match, if it's a Facebook group forum, if it's a website, I don't care if it's an email. I'm going to tell anybody and everybody I can that recovery is possible. You just got to get close enough to the flame in order to light yourself on fire for your recovery. I encourage you, if you're just starting down this journey, down this path, get into a room, get around like-minded people who have gone through or are currently going through what you're going through right now. Start talking to them. I shared this the other day. We accelerate our healing whenever we start sharing, right? Whatever problems we may be facing, we cut those problems in half when we share those problems. Get around like-minded people. Find a room. AA, NA, JKL, LMNO, PA, whatever A you want to attach to it, it doesn't fucking matter. Find a group of like-minded individuals who all share the same problem that you do, or similar problems that you do, but definitely share the same goal that you do, and start talking with them. It doesn't have to be in a church around a coffee pot or around a table. It could be in a Waffle House. It could be in a McDonald's. It could be in your living room. Be in your backyard on your deck. It doesn't matter as long as you're trying to take those steps to at least get close to somebody who's going to remind you that recovery is possible. When you catch it, you're on fire. With that, I'll let you guys go. I hope you guys have a kick-ass Tuesday. Appreciate you guys letting me come in and share a little fire of my own with you guys today. This helps keep me sober. So I will let you guys go. If you guys need anything, please feel free to reach out. Drew, D-R-E-W, @soberschool.org. Or if you have a topic you'd like to hear discussed, drop it down in the Recovery Classroom Facebook group page. Guys, again, hope you have a kick-ass Tuesday. We'll be talking again tomorrow. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.